Friday and for Saturday, scattered showers with a high 72. Overnight low was 32. Yesterday's high was 50. Currently, humidity at 81%. Winds are calm. The pressure at 30.16. Visibility at 10 miles. It's jumped up to 38 right now under sunny skies at the WFIW studios east of Fairfield.
Good morning.
It's time for morning coffee.
How are you?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
It's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful morning to get out and vote, and we hope you do. Kathy Book's with us. Always enjoy visiting with Kathy. She's got so much going on. I think you probably are more busy now than when you were working before you retired.
I have those days, yeah. Yeah.
What's the point of retirement if you're going to work harder?
I've been asked that, yeah.
Mercy, you're
But
teaching?
you can't do nothing.
No.
Yeah.
I don't suggest that.
Yeah.
I also, people say to me that I saw over the weekend, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm picking which 12 hours to work at a radio station now instead of, being a college administrator. And today's going to be a 14 or 16-hour day because of the election.
Election day, yeah.
But but I like that. I love election coverage. It's like reporting on a horse race. I just there's an excitement about it. Don't you agree?
I like watching and listening to election coverage.
Good.
I like politics in general, so it's
good.
Yeah.
Well, then you'll
that's
love
fun.
this.
Yeah.
2 or 3 things that I saw in the news that I just wanted to start off with, and this I thought these were all fascinating.
Is that like a double bubble wrapper there?
No.
Okay.
This is a bid sheet.
Okay.
From the auction,
Okay.
and I just scribbled on the back of it. In New York City, in order to go below 61st Street in Manhattan, they're proposing a congestion tax. You have to pay as a toll to get on the southern part of the Manhattan Island, downtown New York City. And I just
It's an entrance fee.
Pretty much. I'm thinking around noontime, around Taco Tierra and DQ, we might make some money here.
Well, here's my experience with the worst traffic I have ever seen or experienced in my life. My daughter lived near Manila in the Philippines.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's like, okay, it looks like there are 3 lanes of traffic because that's how many lines are on the road, but if 6 cars can go there, they do, and then motorcycles are zipping in between. So anyway, terrible, terrible traffic, and you don't have to worry about, it's like nobody's going fast. So,
Right.
But anyway, her car, she owned a car while she lived there, and because of her license plate, whatever number it ended on, everybody had a no-drive day.
Oh, so you couldn't even. So if they saw that number and it was an even number, you shouldn't have been on the road.
You can Thursday was her no drive day.
How do you get there? How do you get someplace?
Well, you can't use the main roads. You had to go around
it
and
was
use
a congestion tax
yes.
of sorts.
So see that there are other ways, I guess.
I'm just saying, if the
taxes.
city's really worried about streets, have you ever tried to get around the Tierra and
Oh my
DQ
At noon?
If
You
you
can't
drive
even
by
get
there-
on that street.
If you drive by there and there's no line, go get something.
Yes, get him.
I don't think I've ever seen Taco Tierra without a line, or Dairy Queen, for that matter.
It's very infrequent. Maybe Thanksgiving morning. That's about the only. Anyway, so there's my idea on how we can generate some funds for road repair. Then I got to, Kathy. I got to. I'm sorry. I don't get into politics, but I find this fascinating. When I was in education for 30 years, almost always I had an assistant. Okay. And it almost always, it always was a female, okay? And about 10 years ago, it was not uncommon for me we would work together all day. I'd probably see that person more often than I would see my wife. And I would refer to her as dear. Dear, could you do this or something like that? 10 years ago, it was obvious that the currents had changed and that was inappropriate, okay? So, I got the memo.
So you quit doing it,
I
right?
stopped doing it.
Okay.
And it was really nothing for me to touch a coworker, female, their arm to say, how are you doing? Or to comment. you really look nice today, or you know that those colors work for you, or something like that. 10 years ago, bing, that stopped. Okay, because I understood, and isn't that? I mean, I think it's kind of crazy, but nonetheless, I understand.
Right.
And-
Because
and
you
I
should read those nuances and those
Yes,
feedback that
but
you
I'm
get.
telling you, clearly this has become a big deal now for the former vice
Biden,
president.
right.
Joe's a touchy-feely guy. I don't think I have no sense that he's creepy. I mean, what I'm saying is, no, you do
I
maybe.
call him Creepy Joe. Yeah.
Okay, well,
that,
you do.
That picture looked awfully creepy. That we
Oh, the
saw
picture that
yesterday
was on
internet, Fox
the
News.
Fox News yesterday that they had of him in the background with the wife of somebody that was
Yeah.
at the podium was creepy looking.
Well,
I'm gonna,
the look on that guy's face was creepy.
on whose face? On
The,
Joe's?
the speaker.
Oh, the speaker's face. Yes.
He's kind of looking.
Yeah, he
kinda
turned around
looking
to
back
see-
going, "All right,
Well, there's
Joe,
a
what are you doing there,
video-
buddy?"
There's a video that I've seen
Right.
where it's not a woman but a young girl, a child, that he's got his hands on her shoulder, and the child is kind of trying to inch away and
Right, I saw that
making
too.
making it obvious.
Oh,
that
there's plenty
they
of
don't
video.
Like those.
There's plenty of pictures out there to be able to show on this. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
this is beautiful because sometimes we have three guys here, and the conversation is completely different than it is when we have the benefit of having someone like yourself here. When did you notice the demarcation mark when that became inappropriate, or was it always inappropriate to you?
I think, depending on relationships,
Yes.
in the workplace,
Yes.
it was always inappropriate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, then I
well,
was inappropriate
Now, maybe
years
not,
ago. Then
maybe not your examples of a touch on the arm.
Right.
That's fine.
Yes.
But I've worked with a creepy guy in the past.
so you know what creepy is.
And I know that it can.
Oh,
you
it can
know,
unnerve
even though
you.
that- yeah, it's just a
Well,
it's
I
an
don't ha-
uncomfortable feeling.
Let me just say, I've often said that I don't, since I've never walked. I've only walked in high heels a couple times.
I don't do it anymore either.
What I'm saying is, it's hard sometimes for men to understand how creepy it could be. You understand? You know what I mean? I
Right.
mean, it takes somebody that gets the memo, that understands, hey, things have changed. You got to stop that. And referring to someone in that term of endearment, dear. Oh, man, I remember my dad used to say,
I don't think that would bother me if it was someone that I worked
Right.
closely with and trusted.
my dad would call someone sweetheart or honey or something like that, and that was, I even then felt that was inappropriate, quite honestly. But even things have changed. They have changed.
It matters too what how much power that person has over
Yes, and celebrity has something to do with it. All you do is look at the nonstop list of people that with celebrity or power that have used that in an inappropriate way just in the last 3 or 4 years that it's come out
Yeah.
to be able to get the memo, right?
And then you find out that it's happened for
years.
30 years?
Yes,
Yeah.
years. Here's the last thing that I thought was interesting. And I can't believe this. A story that yesterday about a 61-year-old woman. Did you see this, Kathy? The
Was it about me?
No, no. Not, I didn't pick that number out of the air,
Okay.
Kathy.
Well,
a
no.
61-year-old woman who gave birth to her son and his husband's baby.
Okay, she was a surrogate.
She was a surrogate.
At 61?
61. It's a very. I don't want to get into the details, but I found that fascinating, and it made national news. 61 carrying. Anyway, so all little factoids to throw on the table this
Tidbits
morning.
of info.
Tidbits of
Live in
information.
interesting times, don't we?
We do live in interesting times. I have the bucket of bunk in my hand,
All righty.
and I'm ready to launch into it.
You're ready to roll.
Sir Alec Guinness was born on this date, but he died in 2002. Of course, he was best known
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. But I think his greatest role, that might have been his most notable role, but he won the Oscar for Bridge Over River Kwai, and that was in 1957, so that was the year I was born.
That's a great movie.
If you go back, English actor, he was knighted by Elizabeth II, and he was He planned to be a priest,
Really?
but then turned to acting. Jack Webb was born on this date.
Uh-huh.
He died in 1982. A lot of these guys are dying. You mentioned this morning. I said, look at this. Jack Webb died when he was 62. That's very ominous to me. Okay? Of a heart attack. But then you said,
Those guys, every one of them, smoke and drank. Smoked like chimneys, drank like a spigot. Drank a spigot of whiskey every day.
yeah.
Or gin or whatever.
Sergeant Joe Friday had 4 wives. He loved jazz. He had over 6,000 jazz recordings in his library.
Wow.
His autobiography was called Just the Facts Man, which was one of the great lines from his Dragnet. He also created Adam 12, Emergency, and when he died, the Los Angeles Police Department retired the badge number 714. That's a good trivia question.
That is a good trivia question.
Marvin Gaye died in 1984. Do you know how he died?
His dad shot him,
His
didn't he?
father, Marvin Gaye Sr., who was a Pentecostal preacher, shot and killed him. He was, of course, one of the great founders of Motown. A couple of his songs were How Sweet It Is and Heard It Through the Grapevine.
Did a lot of duets with Tammy Terrell.
Did he? Now,
Yeah.
you know more than
Ain't
that
no
I
mountain
do.
high enough.
Get a load of this, though. His dad shot him dead. They were living together in the same house. And his dad got a 6-year suspended sentence.
What?
He didn't even serve a day for shooting his son.
Yeah, there's something wrong there.
I don't get it. And I don't have any other material.
more to that story.
Yes, something must have happened there that is not a part of the literature. Emmylou Harris, 72 today. She is alive. 14 Grammys. You and I could not come up with one single that we remembered.
Could
that
not.
Emmylou-
Yeah.
She's written a bunch of music, I know.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Grammys were for writing as opposed to performing.
She has been inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. She's a well-known animal rights, a PETA person, and she's also anti-landmine, which I think I can put myself in that
Yeah.
category
You
too.
know,
I mean,
you
I'm very con on the landmine issue.
You don't want
How
those
about you,
ant-
Kathy? You in on the?
No, I'm kind of against
Yeah,
this.
I mean, good.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Princess Diana?
Yes!
Her big, yeah.
Yes,
Her issues was about clearing them out. Once the conflict is over, landmines are still there and they're still a danger to.
right,
whoever's
and
being
apparently that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Places other than Wayne County.
Yeah.
Arnold Horshack, whose real name was Ron Palillo. He died in 2012 of a
Really?
heart attack. Yes, he's not with us. Welcome back, Cotter. Yukon grad. He had a heart attack. He died as well.
Yeah.
So there's some of the birthdays.
Was he in anything but Welcome Back, Cotter?
No,
I'm not sure.
I think he was defined as Horshack from then on.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that was a pretty good typecasting. 1917, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson presented a declaration of war against Germany in the U.S. Congress. 1932, a $50,000 ransom paid for the infant son of Charles and Anna Lindbergh. The child was not returned, found dead the next month. That was a tragedy.
Yeah.
1951, Dwight Eisenhower assumed command of all Allied forces in the Western Mediterranean area and Europe. 1960, France signed an agreement with Madagascar that proclaimed the country an independent state within the French community. Then the French surrendered.
All right.
I don't want to go there. Burt Reynolds in 1972 appeared nude in Cosmopolitan.
I think that issue was actually printed at the World Color plant in Effingham.
No.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, that was 1972. 1978, the first episode of Dallas aired. Did you used to watch Dallas? How about you, Kathy?
Every Friday.
Oh, you liked
night.
yes.
Dallas? Yes, I did. Yeah.
I
At the
did
time,
too.
I worked at the bank, Wayne County Bank.
Right.
And we were open until like 6 or 7 o'clock on
Right.
Friday nights. So it was like mad dash home to
I loved JR.
Dallas. Oh,
I mean, he played that part, Larry Hagman played that part so well as a villain. and yet he could turn and smile, and for whatever reason, I just loved him. I loved him in that role. He was a wonderful villain.
Yeah, I watched Dallas
He
for
was.
two
He
reasons.
was.
Why?
Victoria Principal and Charlene Tilton.
Charlene Tilton, really? No. I thought Linda Gray was a attractive woman
Linda
too.
Gray. There's another reason.
Oh man,
Tragic character there, married to J.R.
yes, yes. I always loved. They had. Well, I like Jock Ewing and what was the name of
Ellie.
The woman, the wife.
Ellie.
Miss Ellie.
Miss
yeah.
Ellie.
Miss Ellie.
Miss Ellie. Yes, and Digger Phelps. Wasn't that the name of?
That's a basketball coach.
No,
Digger Phelps used to coach at
All
Notre
right, well,
Dame.
Digger something. That was
That
one of the
I don't
characters.
remember.
You're right. Digger Phelps was the basketball coach at Notre Dame. I'm wrong. 1985, speaking of basketball, the NCAA decided to have a 45-second shot clock. Is it still 45 seconds?
No, it's 30
I
seconds
was gonna
now.
say, yeah.
There's been talk about high
Going-
schools going to a shot clock.
You know, and when you have like a 15-14 game because somebody's held the ball for 2 quarters,
Yeah.
it makes all the sense in the world.
which I've seen.
I have too.
Yeah.
1987, speed limit in U.S. highways increased to 65 after that horrible time when we had to go 55.
Yeah.
I think we got a call.
Yeah, I think so. Good morning. You're on Morning Coffee.
Yeah, the character you're talking about is Digger Barnes.
Digger Barnes.
Digger Barnes. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Victoria Principal's father.
Okay, there was a Cliff Barnes
And
character
Cliff was
also.
Cliff was her brother and Digger Barnes' son.
Okay.
I know my Dallas. Don't
Boy, you do.
Okay, 1995, costliest strike in professional sports history ended when baseball owners agreed to let players play without a contract. Did you see that Mick Jagger's going to have heart valve surgery?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Was he 70?
He's like 71 or something?
75.
75?
75.
Okay.
And they said he would be able to get back on tour by summer. And yet, Keith Richards walks among us. Mm-hmm. He hasn't had any surgeries. As far as I know, he's never been sick a day in his life.
You've heard of the TV show The Walking Dead? That's Keith Richards.
Yes. On this date in 42, Glenn Miller and his orchestra recorded American Patrol. We're going to go to Effingham this month. We're going to go up there and watch the Glenn Miller Orchestra.
I've never
My
been
wife
up
and I.
there. I've heard they have some good shows. They have some bring in some good.
It's not a bad seat in the house.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to it. I love Glenn Miller music. I really do. 64, the Beach Boys recorded I Get Around.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sing it. 65,
you.
Freddie and the Dreamers recorded Do the Freddie.
I don't do the Freddie.
Do the Freddie was the name of the song.
All right. Must be a dance or something.
72, Yoko Ono and John Lennon held a news conference in New York to discuss the appeal of his immigration department ruling that they were going to kick him out of the country.
Uh-huh.
There you go. You got a call?
Good morning. You're on Morning Coffee.
Hey, Mick Jagger's coming to the United States to get his heart surgery.
New York, right?
Yeah, but see, he lives in England and he gets free health care over there. So what's that say for free
Good.
health care?
Yeah.
Good point.
All right.
Excellent point.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, why isn't he getting the surgery there? I always had the same thing happens in Canada. People come here
Is
for the
this
surgery.
the fact that? Okay, you're talking Mick Jagger.
Yes,
again?
he's coming-
Yeah,
he's
he's
great-
British.
Yes,
right?
he's
They've got
coming to
all
York.
that great health care, free.
So-
Yes, but he's coming to New York for his surgery.
I've got more information on that.
Well, I think that's
75,
self-explanatory.
75 years old, set to have operation in New York City Hospital this week. News comes after the band canceled a 9-week American leg of their sold-out tour due to start on April the 20th. Jagger played with two-year-old son. What? What?
He's
I
been
didn't know
taking
that.
lessons from Tony Randall.
Unbelievable. He played with his 2-year-old son, Devereaux, in Miami Beach yesterday as he relaxed ahead of the surgery. I had no idea that he had a 2-year-old son.
I didn't either.
Wow.
Mick.
Mick is
Mick.
the man.
Well, we were talking about retiring and not retiring.
Right.
Well, he's 75 and he's just canceled a tour for this.
We talked about this yesterday, Kathy. For a moment, when you go out on stage There's sold out crowd, 18,000, and they know every word to your lyrics. It's got to be an incredible rush.
Yes, yeah.
And that's the only reason why we can figure it out, because they could buy Mars.
Right, yeah.
So you have to believe it's all about
The
ego.
experience, not about,
Yeah.
loving the work.
Absolutely. Well, we've got more information. We're going to talk more with Kathy Book, but we'll be taking a break. We'll be back with Morning Coffee after this.
I'm Tiffany Haddish, and I use Groupon so much, they made me the spokesperson. When you use Groupon to save up to $100 a week on what you do every day, you can use Groupon to save towards things you might not do every day. Save at a salon and have money to try out that new restaurant, go to a concert, or get a massage. The more you save, the more you can do. It's not rocket science. It's saving money. Hello? Download the app and save. Groupon.
At Merrick, we know dogs are in charge. So our dog foods start with deboned meat, poultry, or fish, and Sorry. Coming! Here's your ducky. And because real whole foods are better for your dog, each Merrick recipe is packed with whole fruits and vegetables. Excuse me. You want to go out right now? Okay. Dogs are in charge. Serve them well. Merrick. Available at your local pet store.
Celebrating you and your bestie, this Saturday, Carnaby's Girlfriend's Day Out coupon includes purchasing one clothing item with the second one at 20% off. Meet your perfect Brighton sandal. Try on a pair and register to win one. All footwear, 20% off. Take an extra 20% off their retired Brighton corner. Preview their huge selection of dresses, casual to Easter looks, all 20% off. Don't forget to register your coupon for Girlfriend's Day Out at Carnaby to win a $100 gift card. Girlfriend therapy paired with a little Carnaby retail therapy. Priceless.
Time Capsule, sponsored today by Save-A-Lot Food Store on West Main, Fairfield.
Hi, this is Bill Stevens with another Time Capsule quiz. Which month and year was it when we saw Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter in their only TV debate?
Are you better off than you were 4 years ago?
I had a discussion with my daughter Amy before I came here to ask her what the most important issue was. She said she thought nuclear weaponry.
2 Soviet cosmonauts came down after a record 6 months in space. Muhammad Ali was TKO'd by Larry Holmes. For the first time in their 97 years, the Philadelphia Phillies won the World Series. And here's what the radio sounded like. Okay, when did we first hear all this? The answer and a piece of the top song from the month and year are coming up.
Swing by the Fairfield Save-A-Lot on West Main Street in Fairfield and take advantage of these great deals. It's time to get ready for spring baking. 4-pound bag of sugar, $1.35. 5-pound bag of flour, $1.29. Powdered or brown sugar, $1.49 in a 32-ounce bag. And twin-pack cream cheese, $1.99 in a 16-ounce package. Prices are good through Saturday. Good food, great people, great prices at your Save-A-Lot store, West Main Street in Fairfield.
October 1980.
Barbra Streisand and Woman in Love, the top song of October 1980. This is Bill Stevens for tcapsule.com. Back soon with another Time Capsule.
Time Capsule has been sponsored today by Save-A-Lot Food Store on West Main, Fairfield.
Black's Fashion Flowers in downtown Fairfield can make any occasion more special with custom-designed floral arrangements and gift items. Check out their selection of Southern Illinois-made Ravenswood Hollow soaps and lotions, Fannie Mae candies, Southern Sisters gourmet food items, and clean-burning soy candles. Black's also has a wide selection of sympathy items. Plus, they're your home for tuxedo rentals from Jim's Formal Wear. Give them a call at 847-7076 or stop in at 310 East Main. Black's Fashion Flowers, your florist with a personal touch, across from the courthouse in downtown Fairfield.
We're your hometown bank with hometown pride. Hi, this is Michelle Garner, serving you as loan officer and branch manager of the Fairfield Banking Company. We're locally owned and operated, which means our heart is where it belongs, in the communities we serve. Our decisions are local, our concerns are local, and our priorities are you, our customer. Come in and let our friendly team with 137 years of banking experience assist you. We're the hometown bank's member FDIC equal housing lender.
And welcome back to Morning Coffee for a Tuesday morning.
Talking about a study that came out about stress and the states, and the most stressful and the most stress-free state. And you would have just guessed where we would have been, right?
I would have think we'd be near the top.
Near the top.
No, we're right in the middle. What do you think is the most? They factor in work-related stress, money-related stress, family-related stress, health, safety stress. Those are all factored in this study. What do you think? Which state do you think is the most stress-free state?
Stress-free?
Yes.
Stress-free.
Yes.
Okay. I would say like Georgia,
number 50.
Georgia, Tennessee.
I'm thinking somewhere like Montana or Wyoming.
I find this hard to believe. It's Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Wouldn't you think there would have been more stress there because of the fact that it's like 9 months of winter?
I got that, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
It's the least.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Most stressful has got to be Jersey.
No.
New Jersey?
No.
No?
No.
It's hard to take a state as a whole because, think about California. There are some really low stress areas,
yes.
But then there's Los Angeles. Have you ever driven there?
Yes. I'm trying to find California on this. I don't see it in the top 25.
And, I would think
it's number 26. It's really close to us. We're number 24.
They could be at the top, because they always say that California is going to fall off into the ocean.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah. They've got wildfires. They've got earthquakes.
They're going to fall off in the ocean before long.
They've got high taxes just like we do.
We're pretty high on work-related stress. That's because guys are walking around calling people deer and touching them.
Yeah.
That's why. No, Louisiana
is the most?
Number one. Yeah.
The most stressful?
Most stressful.
Really?
And Mississippi next, and Arkansas and Kentucky, all these red states, according to this, are the most stressful. West Virginia. Amazing.
I would think because of maybe the poverty levels in those states.
Might be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, anyway, I thought that was very interesting.
Maybe it's related, but a lot of times when you see the education, information about their education, they're near the bottom there also.
Interesting. Talking about stress, I got this story about in Fairview Township. This is
in Illinois?
No.
Okay.
No. A 55-year-old Fairview Township man facing assault charges after police say he attacked an employee at a Giant food store earlier this month. Bradley Bauer of Brant Avenue charged with one count of simple assault in the incident. He beat up the sacker, the person that sacked his groceries because, here's why he got upset. He put the chips on the bottom and he put the cans on top.
Oh, that's a big no-no. Now, come on.
Well, he's all captured on surveillance.
That's lesson number one when you go to bagger school.
Well, you don't put bread down there either.
You don't put
or
bread, eggs, chips in the bottom of a bag.
But if you're going to beat somebody up over that, you got bigger problems than your potato chips.
You're dealing with some stress issues. There's no doubt. I used to love it.
Is he from Louisiana?
Lots of stress there.
Okay.
Heard that.
I always thought it was interesting. At one store in St. Louis that I'd go to, I'd throw all the groceries onto the conveyor, And when they got to the checker would say, he would separate, or she would separate it out, refrigerated in one, and the cans and other stuff in the other. And then they would say, I have separated your refrigerated items for your convenience. Thank you. But that, for whatever reason, they were trained
I think
to
that
say
is part
that.
of their training. Do you remember when we had to separate food from non-food as you were putting them up on the conveyor because the tax rate was different?
No.
I don't remember that.
That was here?
Yeah, I remember that long time ago, but it was, you had to put all your food items. And then, like, if you're going to the grocery store and you're buying food and then you're buying Tide and Dawn dishwashing liquid, then you have to
separate them
because maybe
Probably
I misremember,
good.
but I think I remember that.
I'm sure you're right, and that's good because then it avoids
now
the confusion.
It automatically gets done.
It avoids the confusion of going home and having a glass of Tide.
Yep, that's true.
It's in the wrong bag. I can't drink that.
It was when the tax rate changed, I think, on food versus non-food.
Speaking of food, did you see what's going to happen if we shut down the southern border?
Yes, I did.
No avocados.
We've got like a 2-week window where we can.
Oh boy. Well, now what does that do? You use
I do
avocados.
eat avocados.
Avocados are very healthy, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're a vegetable, but they're very healthy fat. Healthy fats are important in your diet. Yeah.
See, I knew if we went here, she would know about this.
Yeah.
They're great on a salad.
She's the one that talked me into getting the cauliflower crust on the pizza.
Oh yeah,
which I tried.
I got to try that.
It's offered at both well-known pizzerias here in town.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is say it, and it was. I thought it was tasty.
It's good. It's good.
Why is it so important to do that?
Okay.
Because you got the caveman thing going, right?
I have eaten the primal paleo way since 2011.
I need more primal things in my life.
Yeah, since 2011. So that means
You have been that way since 2011?
Yes.
My goodness.
February 2011, actually, because I started at Lent. It was just an experiment. Gonna try this.
Yes.
Noticed changes.
Right.
Noticed I lost a few pounds. My joints didn't hurt. Things like that. So enough that it's worth continuing, and it's not that big of a sacrifice. I don't eat grains, so back to the pizza.
Okay.
So I don't eat grains, so that would mean
no bread,
no flour, no bread, no.
How about taters?
That's an occasional. Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Right.
I do. However, let me say this because I ate a piece of birthday cake last night for my friend Rita had a birthday, and we were with friends and had a birthday cake. So it's not a never.
Never.
But it's like
most of the time.
Most of the time, try to keep it like at least 80% compliant with this.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you a 20% window to eat what you're served when you go places and things like that. So anyway, no grains.
Back to avocado.
Yeah. Oh yeah, avocados. Yeah.
Good.
They're high in fat, but it's a good healthy fat. I use avocado oil when I make my salad dressings.
And how do you pick your avocados?
That's kind of tricky. It's tricky.
I don't ever have to buy avocados, so I
kind
don't worry about it.
Here's a hint, though. If you're never going to buy an avocado, you don't care. But if you pick one up and it's got like the little, where it was attached to the
vine,
to the vine or the tree or however they grow, I kind of think it's a tree. And you can kind of
as far as I know, you have to
with
dig
your
up
thumbnail.
avocados.
It's loose,
Yeah.
Then you can go ahead and buy that one. You don't want it to be too squishy.
Okay.
But if it's really hard, you're going to keep that for a long time before it's ripe enough to
And
eat.
then you go up and you put it in. You have the guy put it in the bag, and he better not put it on bottom, or you beat the heck out of him.
Avocados are pretty. They're pretty hardy.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, the avocado, we might be.
We might be guacamole free in 2
That's
weeks.
true.
That doesn't bother me at all. How about you?
It does not bother me. I know some people it will bother, though.
Might be
What
worth it.
other
Surely
things?
there are other sources of avocados.
But I just can't believe. Are we that dependent on vegetables coming across the border? And if we are, there's something wrong with that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
so
well.
something to keep an eye on as far as.
Maybe I need to get an avocado tree.
Well, I don't know where I'd get my. I don't care about avocados. Remember when George Bush, the senior, said, "I don't like broccoli. I'm not gonna. Nobody's gonna make me eat broccoli. I'm the president of the United States, and I'm not gonna eat broccoli. I'm not gonna eat avocados." There you go.
All right.
I don't need guacamole to be able to make my life work.
Well, we're glad that you have made this life.
Well, I've done it right here in front of all of you. So now, if you see me with an avocado, you know that I'm not true to my word.
Yeah, we're going to impeach you.
Yeah.
If you we see you with an avocado.
You have to talk to somebody today?
No.
You don't? Good. And we can find out what's going on with Kathy Book. What's the latest on you? I read a Facebook post. We're friends on Facebook.
We are.
And I always find your posts interesting. The one that I found the most interesting was, for X number of years, I always had to do lesson plans because you were a teacher for years.
Yes, 29.
And now you're doing lesson plans.
That's right.
You're retired,
Yeah,
and you're doing the same
that,
thing, if not more.
That Facebook post, well, not more, but I
As
haven't
much.
been able to leave it behind. Yeah, that Facebook post was like, I retired 2 years ago. It's Sunday afternoon. I'm still doing lesson plans and laundry on Sunday afternoon. I must be doing it wrong. But, yeah, so I'm writing lesson plans now for classes that I teach. I teach classes at Unleashed Strength and Fitness. That's the gym. And I also teach a class at the Bobcat Den.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's a cycling class. So, my lesson plans consist of the work I'm going to have the people do,
Right.
And making sure that's balanced, and that, okay, if we do a lot of stuff with legs on Monday, then on Wednesday we're going to do more upper body and that kind of
Now, I got to tell you, Kathy, I tried while I was in St. Louis for the 2 years. There was a nearby YMCA.
Why is it good?
Okay, it is. And I thought, I know what I'll do. In order to get my exercise, I'll do spin classes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Did you find the bikes comfortable?
I had to get special pants.
Yes. Some people buy a special seat.
Those seats. Well, I needed the big boy. There was no doubt about that. That thing was.
You needed the extra wide seat.
I needed the big A. Because the first class, it was. I mean, they went for an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Generally, a spin class will last about 50 minutes.
All right, so I mean, I got on. There was some music. There were 8 of us, and we were pointed towards the person who was pointed towards us.
Yep.
And then I guess this is you. You're
That's
you're
me,
in front,
yeah.
and you're in front, and you say, "Okay, well, we're going to start off slow, and now, okay, now we're going to be slowly going up an incline. So let's ratchet up the resistance, and then now we're in a sprint. Yeah, well, I mean, by the 40-minute mark, I was completely wrung out. And on the first time I was there, I was chafed, to say the least. We got a call.
Yeah.
Good morning. You're on Morning Coffee.
Hello? Must not be.
I got the wrong number.
Oh, that's okay. Have you ever been on a spin class? Okay. Anyway, the point was I learned valuable lessons after the first one. Nobody warned me. Nobody warned me about what I needed to. And I went to the second class, and
Good for you. You didn't let the first
oh
class...
no. I really tried hard, because there were several sessions per day, that were offered, so you could pick and choose what you wanted to do. I just I didn't feel it. Well, at least I did feel it, but I mean, it didn't do anything for me. And I see these commercials about the Peloton, where those seems interesting to me.
They
But
do,
how many
yeah.
people? I mean, do you get a lot of interest in spin classes? out there?
The class is full right now.
Really?
And it's at the college, so it is on their schedule. So right now, this was like second half of spring semester, the class that's in session right now.
They go 8 weeks.
It'll be 8 weeks.
Right.
That's right. So, and the number is limited to the number of bikes that
Got
you
it.
have. So that's.
So
it
was.
We generally ride about 35 minutes, and then we stretch, and then we get off and we do some core work.
Okay.
Because building up the core is good for everything. It's just good for life.
I've let the core go.
The core is important.
The core is there's some core issues for me.
I've got a few core issues.
You ever done any spinning?
I think I tried a class one time.
And just didn't do it for you, huh?
Well, about 10 minutes, I was on the floor.
Well, it is a
laying
great
on the floor with the arms out.
calorie
going,
burn. Yeah.
And, the instructor's looking at me, are you okay? Like, yeah, just let me get up.
Give me a minute.
Give me
I'll
a
be
minute.
back.
I tell you what, the last week and a half, it's been nice enough, and people see me out in town. I have 2 Basset Hounds.
They see the dogs dragging you, huh?
And here's I don't know why. Tell me why this is an issue. I love to walk along the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
Behind the train yard.
Yeah.
I love to go through there. But if a train comes through, it scares the heck out of my Basset Hounds. I guess probably you see a 200-ton freight coming at you at about 55 miles an hour. It would probably.
Well, yeah.
But I love it. I just love it. And we walk along the tracks and we walk around town. And the first,
You ever take a penny and put on the tracks, too?
I did that when we
Okay.
first moved to Fairfield. It's against the law, you know.
Is it really?
Yes!
I did not know that.
You haven't been doing that, have you?
No.
Because I would have to tell them.
I don't walk
All
down by the
all
tracks.
right, I have a question
Yeah.
then. If that's against the law, what about those penny machines? Where when you you go to a
Yes.
museum and you press your penny and it says.
I thought that was against the law.
Well, I think it has something to do with on the tracks.
Because you
It's
think
not
that,
that you're defacing the penny.
No,
that
I
you
don't
might.
think it's
Well, we're not
defacing
going to
the
have
penny.
a derailment because you put a penny on the tracks.
You never know.
But when we moved here, I had the 3 boys. It was, I guess, about 2002 or 2003. That's the first thing they did. We were a block away from the railroad tracks. They went down. They put a line of change, and then came back and said, "Look at this. Is this great or what? What is it about city kids liking to see currency squashed?" They loved it. They loved every minute. Anyway, but I go out walk with my dogs. That's my exercise right now. As soon as the man cave's done, I have the walking machine, the treadmill.
The treadmill?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
you
it'll be set up so
you
that
mean
it's
the
pointed.
the clothes hanger?
Right, yeah, not right now. It's in storage. It's going to be pointed at the TV screen so I can watch the Cardinals while I walk.
And the more exciting the game gets, the faster.
No, I put on.
No.
I don't even listen to the game. I
Oh.
put on headphones like this, 1970s rock and roll, very loud.
All right, now, who are you listening to?
Oh, I'm listening to. I've got a playlist. I got a workout playlist, and it all has the same beat. I mean, it's an upbeat kind of thing. John Mellencamp.
Okay, the good stuff. Huh?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, and I make sure that I've got my Fitbit here.
Yeah.
If I can get to 10,000 to 12,000 steps a day, I'm doing well.
That's good. That's a lot of steps.
It is.
Yeah. And
know what?
walking is good exercise for you.
Okay.
Compared to, like, we were talking about cycling.
Yes.
Great calorie burn.
Right.
But what it does not give you is the weight bearing that you get with walking.
Well, yeah,
so,
there's-
you got to do something.
Here's the
You
other
can't
thing,
just- you
Kathy.
can't do
I'm
just one
diabetic
thing.
and I can't get low. I mean, 50 minutes on that bike. By the end of that, if I haven't started with my blood sugar being high, it's cratered by the time I get to the end.
All right, we have to take a break. We'll
All
be
right.
right back.
With trivia.
Everyone is talking about the future these days. With help from me, Steve Thompson, and Country Financial, you can own your future. All you need is the right plan to get you started. The kind of plan that will take into account all the things in your life that matter most. I can work with you to put the pieces in place with insurance solutions to help secure a comfortable tomorrow. No matter what stage of life you're in, now is the time to start developing a plan to own your future.
Community Connection is now online at WFIWradio.com. Now, not only can you hear the Community Connection after the 7:15 news on WFIW AM 1390 and 103.3 FM, but you can hear it online anytime. If you missed the show, go to WFIWradio.com, then click on About Us, then Community Connection for the latest episodes. You can also catch up on past shows. Community Connection after the 7:15 news on WFIW AM 1390 and FM 103.3, and now online at WFIWradio.com.
If you're hankering for some good old Cajun food, there's no need to go to New Orleans. Come to Deep South Restaurant in McLeansboro, Saturday, April 6th for their crawfish boil. Crawfish with all the trimmings and beverages will be ready at 3 p.m. Live music performed by Murphy 500 and McLeansboro's own Megan Barrow and Whitney Hotfinger from 6 to 10 p.m. So grab your lawn chair and join Deep South for a crawfish boil. Saturday, April 6th. Check him out on Facebook or call 643-4294.
Going beyond the expected. It's what they do at Pekin Insurance, and it's been their way of doing business since 1921. It's service that goes the extra mile and products that provide the flexibility to meet all of today's insurance needs and tomorrow's as well. Stop by and see Randy Hallam or John Ametter at Tucker Hallam Insurance in Wayne City. They will provide you with the financial protection and peace of mind you need and deserve. Tucker Hallam Insurance and Pekin. Beyond the expected.
Grab your moms, your daughters, and your friends and head to Fairfield for a shopping day geared just for the ladies. The Fairfield Retail Merchants and the Fairfield Chamber of Commerce have a full day planned for you. Socializing, shopping, and of course, sales. Girlfriend's Day Out is Saturday, April 6th. Plan to spend the day in Fairfield. Don't have a sitter for the kids? Don't worry, they have you covered. Babysitting will be available while you shop. Call 842-6116 for more information.
Attention Harley owners, get your Harley serviced with Roadhouse Harley-Davidson in Mount Vernon and save money with gift certificates from the Big Deal Store. A $100 gift certificate for service will only cost you $70 at the Big Deal Store at WFIWradio.com.
Champion Laboratories in Albion is expanding its workforce with increased competitive wages and a great benefits package. Assembly positions start at $14.75 per hour. Machine setup and warehouse positions start at $17.55 per hour. And maintenance positions start in the upper $20 per hour range based on experience. You must be available to work any shift. Apply in person at Champion Laboratories at champlabs.com or check out Facebook for more information. You could be the next champion of the extra mile.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? A cool breeze on a scorching day? A cozy corner on a cold night? Or to know every room of the house is as inviting as the next? Comfort means more than just the temperature, and the people who invented modern air conditioning keep inventing new ways to make you comfortable. Carrier, turn to the experts. Call Sam or Kara at Complete HVAC and Plumbing today at 445-3329 or visit their website at CompleteHVAC.org.
If you can hear me, you already know that radio works. Let me, Libby Lingefelter, show you what else we can do with the original company, like direct mail and digital marketing. Call me, Libby Lingefelter, at WFIW WOKZ 842-2159.
And it's time for that radar weather brought to you this morning by Stumpy's.
Are you tired of mowing around or looking at that ugly tree stump in your yard? Removing a tree stump doesn't have to be a burden. Stumpy's can make the process quick and easy. A local business started by Clay Marks through the Mount Carmel CEO program offers free estimates, cheap rates, cleanup, and no mess after the job is completed. Clay guarantees you'll be happy with his work, so call him today at 838-0635. That's 838-0635.
Fairfield area weather forecast calling for sunshine today with a high of 60. Partly cloudy tonight, low 38. Cloudy skies 65 on Wednesday. For Thursday, light rain a possibility, high 60. Cloudy skies 65 on Friday, and for Saturday, scattered showers with a high 72. Overnight low was 32. Yesterday's high was 50. Currently, humidity at 81%. Winds are calm. Pressure at 30.16 and holding. Visibility at 10 miles. We've got sunshine and 38 right now at the WFIW studios east of Fairfield. Radar weather looking very good as well. Nothing showing up precipitation-wise anywhere in the state of Illinois. Radar weather brought to you by Stumpy's. Contact Clay Marks on Facebook or give him a call at 868-0635 for more information on how you can remove unwanted tree stumps.
I love that. Yeah. Got trivia from Gary McGee, our good friend up in Louisville. Listens religiously. Thank you, Gary. We've taken some of your correspondence and turned it into our trivia this morning. Question 1, how many square miles? I'm going to give you some leeway, one or the other. How many square miles do you think the District of Columbia is, where our nation's capital is? Just take a guess. I mean, that's...
Is it 100? Is it a 10 by 10?
It is.
10 miles by 10 miles?
That is high. What do you think, dude?
72.
61. 61 square miles, the District of Columbia. What country music artist's song was the lead song in the James Bond movie Octopussy? The lead song.
I don't know.
Rita Coolidge's All-Time High.
She's not country music.
Sure she
country
is.
music.
1983. But, wow. Call up Gary McGee and tell him.
All right, all right.
All right. Number 3. This Robert De Niro movie got 8 Academy Award nominations in 1980.
Raging Bull.
Yes! Way to put one on the board for the team.
Yeah, well, you know.
All right. 1960s network newsman once quoted as saying, quote, "A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with bricks others have thrown at him." 1960s network newsman. There were only a few.
Walter Cronkite, yeah.
Good guess by both of you. No. David Brinkley. Remember Huntley and Brinkley.
Huntley and Brinkley.
Number 5. He was country music artist Joe Bandy's musical partner for many years.
No clue.
You?
Mo
Bandy, Joe Stampley.
Joe Stampley, okay.
Yes.
Mo and Joe. Joe and Mo.
That's it. Number 6. A representative of the Amazon people, she showed up in DC Comics in 1941. Don't talk, Turner. We're going to let the lady go first here.
That's obviously Wonder Woman.
Yes. Wonder Woman. Not many Amazons out there, but she represents the Amazon people. And remember, she had the invisible car.
The plane.
Was it an invisible plane?
It was an invincible plane.
It was Otis. It was Otis on Andy Griffith that had the invisible car.
Yeah.
Okay, it was built in Arlington Cemetery and dedicated following World War I in 1921.
Tomb of the Unknown Soldier?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Good job.
Been there?
It's a white marble sarcophagus. That's a coffin. That's the final resting place and memorial for unknowns from World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. They've
Several
had
unknowns, yeah.
Entoured a number of unknowns. They did additional work in 1932. Number 8. People who collect flags are called...
Ooh.
Nerds is not the answer, okay?
I don't think that ever came up in my years of scholastic.
No, never did?
Never,
well, this is a good one.
did.
You can steal this as a scholastic. This is from our good friend, Gary McGee.
Flag collectors.
No. You remember Sheldon?
Sheldon Bunning was a flagologist.
No. Not Sheldon Bunning.
Sheldon Bunning.
Sheldon from...
yeah.
Oh, the TV show.
The Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory, that's it. He's a flag collector. People who collect flags are vexology. It's vexology. They're vexologists. Vexology is the study of the history, symbolism, and usage of flags. A person who studies flags is a vexologist.
That's very vexing.
I didn't know this.
That's pretty vexing.
Yes, it is. Okay, number 9. The first president born in the United States. Okay, now you can tick through the early ones. They were not born in the United States.
No.
Was John Quincy Adams born in the United States?
Apparently not.
I'm going to say...
was it all the way up to Andrew Jackson?
No.
No, okay.
I'm going to say William Polk.
Martin Van Buren.
Okay.
Now, that one had come up as a scholastic.
Did it really?
Question.
Seriously?
Yes, and I forgot the answer. Yes.
Well, somebody did a good job. First to be born as a citizen of the United States. You heard that right. None of the early presidents born in the United States of America. All right. And number 10, the final one. This is a hockey legend.
All right.
His quote was this: "All pro athletes are bilingual. They know English and profanity.
Well, the number of hockey legends I can think of.
Can you think of any?
Wayne Gretzky.
No.
That's a hockey name.
That is, and he's a legend.
Actually, a couple of names come to mind.
All right.
The Golden Jet.
That would be Bobby Hull, but no.
Bobby Hull. Stan Mitka.
No, no, it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't Mitka. That was the Chicago. No, this Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey.
Okay.
Gordie Howe. All right.
All right.
Well, we thank Gary for giving us some confounding Scholar Bowl type questions, and we want to thank Kathy Book for coming in and being a part of our show this morning. We always enjoy it. Go out, eat your avocados, and make sure that they're ripe. Okay.
And vote.
And vote. Vote as well with your avocados. Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
Talk to you tomorrow.
See ya.
News, talk, sports, and classic rock. This is the station listened to, not just heard. 104.9 WFIW FM Fairfield, Illinois.
Time now for the news, brought to you by Boyd Furniture and Mattress Center in downtown Wayne City. See pictures and prices at boydfern.com or follow them on Facebook.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. With Senate Democrats blocking a disaster bill stripped of funding for hurricane relief in Puerto Rico, President Trump on Twitter is criticizing the island's leadership.
The president writing, all their local politicians do is complain and ask for more money. He continued, the polls are grossly incompetent, spend the money foolishly or corruptly, and only take from USA. The president has feuded with San Juan's mayor since Hurricane Maria hit the island in September of 2017.
Fox's John Decker. Great Britain's parliament's rejected for all